Governor Jerry Brown has mental breakdown trying to defend his massive disaster. By Adam Castellino, Politics US News from AdWorldNews.com. Governor of California Jerry Brown was forced to defend one of his worst projects. Speaking to a crowded room, he proved why he is out of touch with his own state, as he had a mental breakdown trying to defend the massive disaster he created. California has had a couple of bad years, much of it the leadership's fault. They suffered through years of drought because they failed to build needed reservoirs. Then the rains came, bringing massive flooding and damage to neglected infrastructure. Wildfires, which initially started with arson, destroyed much of the countryside. Next, there were mudslides that took out what was left. While much of his state is suffering, Governor Jerry Brown has pushed one bad law after another. He has declared himself an enemy of the United States and our president. He and his cronies have rewarded criminals while attacking citizens. He spends money protecting illegal aliens while California's cities crumble to dust. Yet he doesn't change his ways. Instead, he's pushing for an idiotic high-speed rail that will cost the state a fortune. Numerous people have criticized this terrible project, but in a recent speech, the governor told the world just what he thought of those critics. He unloaded on them, revealing the kind of bias and arrogance he has for anyone who disagrees with him. California Governor Jerry Brown gave a forceful defense of one of his signature projects Monday night, responding to critics of the escalating costs of the state's high-speed rail program. That's bullcrap, Brown said at the outset of a 15-minute speech to California labor leaders at a Sacramento hotel. Brown said the high-speed rail effort, with a newly escalated cost estimate of $77.3 billion to connect Los Angeles to San Francisco, was a small investment when compared with the scale of the California economy. Other countries, such as Spain, with much smaller economies, Brown said, have already built major high-speed rail lines. This is for Agenda 21, mind you. That's what he's pushing for. To cramp everybody in, to go from place to place and nowhere else other than what they want. We can do it if we have the imagination, if we have the will, and we don't let these small-minded people intimidate us into lowering our expectations, source Los Angeles Times. Yes, because if there's one country that's a model of economic prosperity and wise decisions, it's Spain. Considering the massive problems Jerry Brown's state is facing, you'd think the California governor would be diverting all that money to, saving lives. The state has just barely recovered from massive wildfires and mudslides. How about the infrastructure on those, what do they call it, that hold the water, the reservoirs? How about that? Did he fix the reservoirs that would flood out the regions? Did he fix those things? I doubt it. What's more, experts are predicting another coming drought. Yeah, well, again, with geoengineering coming into play, you wonder why they're burning out California. They're continuing Agenda 21. That's what they want to do. Pile up people in one specific area so they have control of everything. Any reasonable, intelligent leader would be putting the well-being of his people first. No, that's not what he's being paid for. But what is Governor Jerry Brown doing? He's pushing for an extremely expensive and unneeded rail project. Why? Because he made promises to labor unions and other groups when he got elected. He can't let them down or else. It's kind of ironic when you think about it. Jerry Brown is opposing President Donald Trump's border wall tooth and nail. He criticizes President Trump for pushing a much needed construction project. Meanwhile, Brown is pushing for his own project, one that few people believe is truly needed. Right. But the way Trump's wall is estimated to cost $25 billion, that's a song compared to this ludicrous high-speed rail that's estimated to require a staggering $98.1 billion in taxpayer money. That's why people are moving out in droves, that's for sure, because either you're going to get flooded, or you're not going to have water, or you're going to be burnt out, and then if you're not, you'll get taxed. Either way, you got to be out of there. California's bullet train appears to have released a high case estimate of $98.1 billion to prepare the public for much higher tunneling costs. Oh, good. Breitbart News reported on March 9th that the California High-Speed Rail Authority new chief program officer Roy Hill had issued a 114-page 2018 draft budget with a base case cost to build the 500-mile bullet train that had more than doubled to $77.3 billion or $155 million per mile. That compared to the $37 billion, $74 million per mile plan that Governor Schwarzenegger and other advocates claimed when they convinced voters to pass Proposition 1A in 2008, source Breitbart. Jerry Brown defends his expensive project by insulting his critics. As usual, he resorts to name-calling to push his cause, much like the rest of the left. He calls people being responsible small-minded. That's right, according to Brown, if you don't want to see California crippled with debt, you are small-minded. But this is the same man who called Trump supporters cavemen. So, we shouldn't be surprised. This is the same guy who defends illegal aliens while bullying tax-paying citizens. He's a leader who wants to spend upwards of $98 billion to build a pointless high-speed rail instead of investing in needed infrastructure. Someone's small-minded, all right, but it isn't his rivals, you think? He's following through with the globalist agenda. That's it. That's what he's doing. And, people better wake up because, a lot of crap is going down. And it's going down real hard lately. And, enough is enough of this crap. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.